Hello, Dungeon fans. It's the Liching Hour. And I'm your host, the Lich. And this is The Gnole House by Michael Curtis. Tonight, something's going to end in here. But before that, in Dungeon News. As you all know, Pudding Week was a great success. Puddings from all around the world came. There were the usual black puddings. There were brown puddings. And green slimes who think they're puddings. But then there were pungent puddings, polite puddings, danger puddings. Those guys were awesome. There was one or two problems, though. One, the pudding rec room wasn't big enough. And two, there was a waiting list for all the pudding after parties. The pudding rec room was a huge success. We had a waiting, let's see, and the numbers haven't come in yet, but I'm pretty sure that we beat the world record for the number of puddings in one place at one time. That's a first for our dungeon, and we'll be taking that record away from that other dungeon. Okay, yeah, so it was awesome, and yes, most of the puddings haven't left yet. I'm working on that. Please be patient while I help them move along on their way. Should be a day or two tops. All right? Till then, viva la dungeon. All right, that was the news. So, we left our party at the Gnole. Well, it's called the Gnole House. They didn't really know what they're in. They just know they're in this creepy, big old house in the middle of a forest, and a fight with its inhabitants. These big, hairy, ape, rubbery, flesh-looking beings who like to wear pink scarves and hats and have pictures of themselves acting like real people. It's altogether ooky, and everything seems a little off. We have two people down. Snopes and Gunther are down. They're unconscious in a room upstairs being guarded by Meggle, while the rest of the team has been exploring the house, trying to figure out, one, why they're there, and two, what they're there to find. I hinted at, and I didn't hint at it on purpose. I kind of screwed up when I was talking. If you were watching last episode, there was a couple clues I dropped. The Scions of Law, the reason why everybody's here, the party's here at this house, is because the Scions of Law gave them a task, and this is what part A of this task, and part A was to find themselves a new set of eyes, and so that's the party's trying to figure out what that means, and in the context of where they're at right now. Big dark house in the middle of the night. They just were in the kitchen, found the kitchen, and were ambushed by one of these gnolls bursting out of a pantry closet. They had to put him down, and they found stairs going down into a basement. At the bottom of the stairs was a locked door. They had found earlier a keychain. Hold on, let me move this over so I can see the chat. If anybody wants to say what's up or, join in the fun. So earlier they had found a key ring upstairs on one of the dressers. They right now we're going to join them. It's Cassius, Pix, Barrow, and Talia who are at the basement door, struggling to be quiet. They've got to be careful. They don't know what's behind it. They're going into a basement in this creepy house. Before Pix goes to pick the lock, Cassius tells her, "Hey, here, try one of these." And so she's going through the keys, looking for the key that might kind of fit there. And that's where we're going to join them. Yes. Last thing I'm going to say, just kind of throw it out there, is that Barrow had found an interesting set of emeralds in a curio closet, or a curio chest or display in the parlor. and he's keeping them for himself, even from Talia, which is a little bit not like Barrow, but he's doing it anyway. He's starting to feel a little bit outside of Talia and her magic stuff. He wants something that's his. So the key goes in the door. Opens. Pix looks up. Cassius draws out his sword, as silent as possible. Talia has a sword as well. She's going to draw her sword. And Barrow's got his flail. He's got a flail. They're all ready. Pix got a little dagger out. And she is going to... Actually, she's going to move over and let Cassius open the door so that she can sneak into a shadow if she needs to. So Cassius pushes open the door. Let's find out what's inside. By the way, I don't know how tonight's going to go. I know how I'd like it to go. But who knows? I mean, this could be the end of the party today. I mean, they're missing their cleric and one of their warriors, a dwarf. They're already down for the count. We got 1 chicks left. And then these guys are going into the basement. Who knows what's down there? Well, I know. But I don't know what their dice are going to do. The dice might really screw us up. I don't roll the best. Dice don't like me. Well, we shall see. We shall see. The walls of this dank chamber are constructed of ill-fitting fieldstone. The floor is dirt, and the low ceiling is one of exposed timbers. A lantern with a thick candle burns on a long, cluttered table, providing the room's only light. In the center of the chamber is a stout wooden chair. Leather bands are attached to the chair's arms and legs. A door exits the room through the far wall. 2 hulking creatures with rubbery flesh, coarse dark hair, and burning red eyes occupy the room, large wood-splitting axes in their clawed hands. They go... The door creaks open. They both look, and it is initiative time, people. These guys look mean, and they are mean. To the die scene. Okay. We're going to roll for these crazy red-eyed gnolls first. These ain't your daddy's gnolls. Oh, look at that. And they rolled a 19. This is a crappy die for this. But, okay. So they roll 19. Good for them. +2. Yeah, good for them. 21. All right, Cassius. All right, Cassius. Show them how it's done. 4. That's how you do it. 4. Barrow, what are you doing? Barrow is rolling a 7. I think Mego's the only one that actually has an initiative bonus. No, Pix does. Okay. Barrow is 7. All right, Pix. Let's try this one. 7 + 1 is 8. Look at you. And then Talia. Purple Talia. That's 3 7s in a row. I don't know what that means. I guess we're going to find out. Talia is 7 as well. All right. So it's going to be the gnolls first. Cassius. No. I'm sorry. Pix. Barrow. Pix, Barrow, Talia, and Cassius, actually. In a tie, agility beats Talia is more agile. It's going to be Talia, then Barrow, then Cassius. Okay, so the door's opened. Cassius is standing there in the doorway with his long sword out. People behind him. These guys, he opens the door to see these gnolls standing there. They rolled initiative first. Yes. So, one of them is going to charge at him. He's standing in the doorway. They're going to come right at him. The other one is going to... there are 2 little cubbies like dark cubbies on either side of the door, north and south wall. He's gonna move back and be prepared to kind of get back behind one, into one, to hide, or just at least not so much hide, but be ready to strike as they start coming in. What do they got? They've got these wood axes. So just like, they look. Cassius is like, he was ready, but he wasn't ready fast enough because it goes, it comes running at him with his axe. It's a frightening sight. Totally not cool. In fact, the amount of fierceness in this creature's face and demeanor is way more than Cassius had seen in the other. They've killed 4 of these guys so far. 2, 3, 5. And this guy is way more intense than the others were. Cassius, what's your armor class? His armor class is 13. Gnole is rolling. Oops, that was a 10. That was a 10 plus 2, which is a 12. Which means he runs up, even though he's it's pretty fierce. He swings his axe. Cassius manages to move back and just kind of goes right by his face, into the wall. The other one is kind of just prepping, getting ready. He's not attacking. There's not enough room in the doorway. Yep. So it is our players' turns. Where did you go? Oh. Pix. Pix is not a halfling. She's not necessarily small. So we kind of add a choke point right here. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. What can we do? So the marching order right now is Cassius, Pix, Talia, and Barrow. Unfortunately, Cassius is going last. So she's gonna could she climb up the wall? No, there's not enough real space there. Okay, she's gonna take in, like, we're gonna give her a chance to like take in. She notices that the other one moves behind the one that just attacked, to the right, on her right. She's making a plan. The moment she can, she's gonna get in and to the left, and she's gonna get into the shadows, but she can't get past Cassius right now. There's not enough room. So Talia's up, and Talia, maybe she's gonna cast a spell. Yes. Yeah. All right. Talia isn't messing around with these guys. She starts speaking and doing her thing, and we're gonna roll first. And she rolls a hot 18 with a spell check plus of 1, so she's at 19. And then manifestation roll. 2. Oh wait, I put those, didn't I? Oh, that sucks. I should put the page number for these spells. So, what did I roll? 1d4 is a 2. Okay. These, suddenly, before Cassius and Pix's eyes inside the room, it looks as if these, as Talia speaks, these swan wings come rising up out of the floor, and swing in to engulf the Gnole that's in front of them, and assumedly the other one. Just while that happens, this burst of energy comes flowing out of Talia. Her Manus Mercurial effect, whenever she casts this spell, it's just specific to her. It heals everybody in a 15-foot radius, 1d6. And really, the only one that's hurting right now is Pix, and now she's back up to 9. So Pix is back up. Anyway, so these swan wings come out just out of the ground. They wrap around the gnolls, and these gnolls have to save. And they have to save versus 19, which is awesome. Okay, so we'll save +1. I'm gonna roll these 2 for these guys. +2. Did I just say +1? Wow, he just barely didn't make it. And they can't spend any luck either. Is it will? I'm assuming it's yes, will versus spell check. Okay. So up to 3 targets within range must save or fall asleep for 1d4 hours. When casting the spell, the caster must specify an interrupt condition which automatically awakens the target. For example, being kissed by a prince, smelling the fragrance of a rose, or hearing a clock strike midnight. So she's going to say being kissed by a princess will wake these guys up in 1d4 hours, which is 2 hours. All right, 2 hours. The one in front of them, the swan wings goes around it, and they see it struggle for a second, and then its eyes get heavy, and it falls. Thump. And then quickly, right after, they hear another thump. You come over here. There we go. Flump. 2 of them are asleep. I gotta tell you, spells in this game don't seem to go off very well for me. At least in these guys, I'm pretty happy that actually that went off that well. Thump, thump. Cassius waits for a second, and then he moves in the room. Pix immediately goes into the shadows. Talia and Barrow kind of come in, and they kind of survey the room. The chair looks like there's like grooves in it from maybe fingernails, and it could swear there's a little bit of blood on the floor and stickiness. Not sure what happens there, but it's nothing nice. The table holds a collection of saws, filleting knives, pliers, and a jug containing a smoky flavored marinade. Other than that, there's not really anything else in this room other than the door on the other side. So, do we kill these guys? Cassius doesn't want to. Talia suggests it and says we better. We should, but she's not too worried about it because they're asleep and she knows they're going to be asleep for a while. And Cassius is lawful now, and he doesn't want to. Pix isn't interested in it, doesn't really care either way. She's neutral. So they decide not to kill these guys in their sleep. So they leave them laying there, snoring. And they creep up to the other room. Same deal. So Cassius and Pix are going to flank the door. Barrow and Talia are going to stay back. And then I think what Cassius is going to do is open it. Which way is it open? Do we know? Do we know? Okay. Looks like from the pictures, from the awesome map picture. I haven't been showing you guys because I didn't want to but we are in here. 3-1, 3-2, and don't you look at the other one. It's going to be a surprise. Yes. Haha. All right. Let's do this. So what I'm picturing is Cassius up against the door on one side, Pix up against the door on the other side. Look at each other. Barrow and Talia standing back. Talia is gonna take out her short bow. All right. Barrow's got his flail, and he's ready to cast Ecom's mystical mask. And Cassius is gonna open the door, or no, Pix is gonna open the door because it opens into the room. She's gonna open the door, and then Cassius is gonna peek in. All right. So she does that. And then and she opens the door. A rank odor, like something left to the age and the earth, but long forgotten, fills this room. Cassius peeks in. Bones are strewn everywhere. At first glance, the grisly remains appear haphazard, but a second look, he looks around again, reveals that they are actually fashioned into a large bedstead, a tremendous chair, and a low table covered with bone plates and goblets. Thick, pallid candles burn on shelves set into the fieldstone walls. From the gloom lumbers a bulky creature with slate-gray, rubbery flesh, flailing tentacles, and gemstone eyes. Something along the lines of this bad boy. Comes shumbling into the light. Okay. We are going to roll initiative. Yes. So, this guy is way bigger than any of the gnolls they've met so far, and he looks like some kind of massive uber gnoll, and he's actually a greater gnoll. Apparently, if a gnoll survives for more than a century, it undergoes this metamorphosis, transforming into a greater gnoll. It's 7 feet tall, twice the size of a normal one. It's kind of oval, nodules of rubbery flesh protruding from its torsos and abdomens. Like me. Just kidding. Greater gnolls lose their coarse fur, revealing its naked slate gray skin. These guys sound awesome. Their arms become tentacles, and their ears are grown over folds of flesh, rendering them largely deaf. So, blop. Yes. So, we're rolling initiative. What the characters don't know just yet is that there is another gnoll in that room. A regular kind of gnoll. Well, regular in the sense that it's not the greater gnoll, but it's not a regular gnoll. It's actually a little different. We're gonna roll initiative for the greater gnoll. Wow. 19 plus 4 initiative. That's 23. 23. And then the other gnoll, holy crap, it's critting 22. All right, I have a feeling these guys are going first. I'm going to roll this die again for Cassius. Look at this. Look at that. I rolled a 19, a 20, and then when I rolled for the player, it's a 1. All right, Cassius, you're going last, Barrow. Back to 20s. Look at that. Barrow gets he doesn't get a modifier. No. He's at 20. Pix. 5. Boo. Plus 1. And then Talia is 6 plus 4, 7. All right. Well. Okay. Talia. No. Okay. We got 2 monsters first, and then Barrow, and then Talia, then Pix, and then Cassius. Yeah. So let's see. This is 15 feet. How fast can this guy move? He can move 30 feet. So he's in the middle. Kinda in the middle. Okay, so I'm imagining, okay, so Talia and Barrow are in the middle of this room. Oh boy, here we go. All right, there's the chair. The weird chair. The Elder Gnole's in here. He's gonna come. He lets out this like crazy scream thing and comes running, and he just enters through the door. Just he's able to move. Boom, boom, boom. He bends down as he does it, and at first you don't think he's actually going to fit through it, but it was like a pop. He goes, boom. He's out. He's through the door, and he's there. And at first, I mean, it looks like he's fixated on Barrow. I mean, he's staring at. It looks like he's staring right at Barrow. We don't know. He's got like weird gem eyes. I'm not sure what if he really is or not, but that's the first impression Pix gets when she's looking at him. So that's what the Elder Gnole, that was his move. He let's see, what's his, the way this is kind of working is he's just seeing Barrow. It's probably just because that's all I could see is Barrow and Talia. He didn't really see Cassius peeked in, but so when he runs in, I'm not going to have him attack either. He's got Pix and Cassius on the sides. He's not going to attack them because he comes running in. Boom, boom. He's in the room. And he's ready to fight. Yeah. So anyway, he's not doing anything else. That's what he did. That's him. The other Gnole. Yeah. The other Gnole, unknown to the player characters, is silently moving up to just behind the greater Gnole inside the doorway. A little further back. He's going to spring into action as soon as the Elder Gnole gets out of the way. Barrow. Barrow is pooping his pants because to him it feels like this guy's staring right at him. But yeah. Barrow, because he can do some magic too, he yells out the word of power for casting his spell, the only spell he actually has. And he does pretty good this time. 16. His spell check a +2. So he rolls an 18. And I did write down this guy's, yep, 37. Ecom's Mystical Mask. When he does this loud thunder strike comes up, reverberates around the room, and when he says the word of power, there's thunder cracks, and he just kind of like plucks this mask out of thin air and puts it on his face. And this mask, what did I roll? 8, 9, 10, 20. Oh wait, did I say 20 or 9? 16, 18, okay. The mask helps defend the caster against baneful magical spells. All spells cast directly at the wizard suffer a -2 penalty to their spell checks. Area of effect spells or other magics that are not targeted directly at the mask wearer are unmodified. The caster's face takes on a faceted quartz-like appearance while this mask is in fact. So Barrow, and now he looks like a quartz. His face is all quartzy. It's pretty sweet. I gotta tell you, Talia is a little impressed, which is good for Barrow. Maybe he'll get some later. They are married. So Barrow does that. That was his thing, and he's not moving. He's not going to move. He's not a coward. Talia's up. Is Talia... Talia seems to think, All right, so Talia does some calculations in her head. She's looking at this thing. They've been through most of the house that they know of. Who knows where this basement could open to up to a dungeon, though, for all that she knows. But all they were told when they were dropped off here was to get themselves a new set of eyes. This thing has these weird emerald-looking eyes in its head. They are definitely not normal. She notices them right away. She's not dumb. She's thinking this guy has something to do with what they're here for, and her thought is it needs to die. The idea is, though, does she cast sleep again? Sleep seems pretty OP, man. You know what I mean? Cause like, I wonder what's his will check at? +2. Because I don't know why I wouldn't. She can, because she didn't forget sleep. There's no reason why she wouldn't cast it again. Just see what happens. She says the power, and of the word of power, burst of energy rips around her. Everybody's healed already, so it doesn't matter. And she... Haha! Remember that whole... Yeah, that's funny. You see that, right? You see that too? Okay. Yeah, so she's like, boom, says the word. It's gonna happen. And he's like, wait, what was I doing again? It totally fizzles in her brain. Fizzles out coming out of her. She rolled a 3. There's no getting out of that. She has forgotten sleep for the day. No sleep. No sleep for you. All right, that was good. That was Talia's turn. Picks. All right. So this thing ran through the door. It's just out inside the door. Picks. I'm going to roll for her. Yeah. I want her to roll. She's going to backstab. She's going to get behind him. She's going to get behind him and backstab. Because it didn't notice her, I'm not even going to make her roll to get around it. It came in the door. There's enough space. She was right at the side of the door. It didn't notice her. She's going to be able to stab it with her steely knife. All right. She's got a +2, 9. Let's see, +2 backstab, and a +1. So effectively, she's got +3. She's going to have 12. Its armor class is a 14. She needs 2 more. She's going to spend a bit of luck. She's going to spend 1 luck. She's going to spend 1 luck and roll her luck die. And gets the amount of luck that she needs. She stabs him. So picks. Let's mark this. Man, where's my pencil at? Picks has got 7 luck. Okay, so a thief in Dungeon Crawl Classics, like all the characters, just really quick for those who might not know, everybody's got a luck attribute. Luck throughout all the games, at some point you can spend X amount of luck to affect any roll that you make. But if you do that, you have to permanently reduce that from your luck total. Thieves, however, for every luck they spend, they can roll their luck die, which is a 1d3 to begin with. Oh, it's a 1d3. So I should have rolled a 1d3, not a 1d4. Which is this die here. Of course. So she's gonna have to spend 2. Whatever, dude. We'll count that roll. Anyway, so she rolls her luck die, which is 1d3 for now, and gets that many luck whenever she spends 1 point. So whatever. And then she regenerates luck, 1 point of luck a night. So when she gets good point, bit of time to rest, she can regenerate the luck. Nobody else other than a halfling can regenerate luck. Okay, so yes, she hits. She does 1d10 when she backstabs with her dagger. And she gets +1 to damage. So she's doing 5 points of damage. 5 points of damage. She so it rushes in. Talia goes to cast. Barrow does a and she sneaks around while it's fast at watching this. She sneaks around and stabs it right in its kidney. Well, I keep imagining her like a half. She's not a halfling. She's not that small, but she's smaller than a normal average. She's on the small side of a human, but she's not a halfling. She sneaks around because she's strong. She's strong and brawny, a little wiry strong, and fast. She sneaks around and hits him in a kidney. It's 7 feet tall. She's like 4 something. Yeah, she's definitely stabbing in the kidney for 5 points of damage. Okay. It squeals in pain. Something like that. Yes, that was Pix. Who's up? Cassius. He's got a long sword ready. He takes a swing. He takes a stab at this thing. Like this big, gross thing. He rolls his D die, which is a 1d4 now, right? 1d4? No. We're not in that stage with these guys yet. He's still level 1. So he's rolling 1d3 as well. Which one is Cassius? This one. Alright. Wow, dude. So he rolls a 6. He's got a -1. How are we gonna fiction our way out of this one? 6 -1 is 5, +3 is 8. That is nowhere near what he needs to hit this guy. He forgets how to fight. Yeah, so he goes to stab him. He goes to stab it too from the other side. His hands slick with sweat, and it slides, and the sword kind of also slides right off this guy's rubber skin because he doesn't hit it hard enough. It's kind of off of its hide or rubbery flesh. So that was it for Cassius. Should have did. He had to do a mighty deed. Let's say he attempted to do a mighty deed. He didn't make it. We'll say it that way. But that's what he should have did. He should have said, "I'm going to stab this sucker in the leg to try to bring it down." But his hand was wet with sweat and it slipped. So there was that. And now we're back to the monsters. The Elder Gnole could swear it's staring right at Barrow, and even more so now because it lets out this roar, and just starts coming right at Barrow. Specifically, it's coming at Barrow. It closes the distance and whips out a tentacle. One of its tentacles at him. Barrow, buddy, what's your armor class? 11. Okay. 11. And this guy has +2 to his melee rolls. 5 + 2 is 7. That's not enough to hit. So, Barrow, who's large, but he's quick for his size. The Greater Gnole swings up, and Barrow manages to move to the side as the tentacles just swings past his face. And he manages to not bump into the chair as he steps back as well. And then, okay, so that was the Greater Gnole. He only gets one action, right? Yep, one action. Okay. Then, player 2 enters the fray. The other Gnole. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Suddenly, Pix hears a word from behind her. This Gnole, at some point in its life, had eaten a wizard and somehow had gained a portion of that sorcerer's power, which allows him to do spell-like things up to 4 times a day. One of those things is called a spell dart. He has learned when he says a certain thing, it's something weird. But he focuses his energy and kind of throws his hand. This beam of magic, it looks like a sharpened dagger, will fly out of him, or dart fly out of his hand at whatever he points at. He still has to hit, and we're talking about Pix here. Armor class 10. Spell dart gets +6, so he's probably gonna hit. Yeah, he hit with a 20. 1d4 +1 damage. Ooh, crap. Okay, so that's 5 points of damage. So, Pix. Okay, so Pix hears from the darkness behind her, and when she hears it, she's like, shit. She hears his grunting kind of word thing, and suddenly something slams into her back, pushes her forward. She hears right before that happens, she hears like a boom. It feels like something's sticking in her back, and Cassius notices this too. And then that Gnole who just cast this is going to be his other action. Well, he gets one action, he gets a move, or move an action. He's going to move. Does he have a weapon? He does. He has a club. Club in one hand, spell dart in the other one. He's going to come running up so that the next turn he's pretty close to Pix in the doorway. He's pretty close to the doorway. Okay, so that's what's happening there. That was the monsters. Barrow. Alright, Barrow buddy. This thing obviously wants a piece of you. Why? He's going to not be backed down by this thing, even though he's chitting bricks a little bit. If you excuse my language. He's going to throw his flail at this guy. Well, not literally throw it. He's going to swing it hard. He's standing in front of this. I mean, Barrow's a big elf, but he's not, he's maybe 5'9" or 6 feet. This thing's a foot taller than him. Twice his size, which is saying a lot. AC's 14, Barrow. What you going to do, bro? 12. Do you have any pluses? Barrow has no pluses. He swings, and his flail bounces off the rubber skin of the greater Gnole, and it eyes him hungrily. That's when Talia she's moving and pulling out her sword, and she takes a swing with her short sword. Yes. But she rolls a 3. So she definitely does not hit this guy hard enough. The sword goes almost bouncing off its skin. Pix. When Pix sweats, she sweats light. It's a story. If you've been following along, you'd know why that happened. Be a good incentive to watch, I think, episode 2 of the Court Intrigue at the Court of Chaos to find out why. But she sweats light. So she's definitely broken a sweat by getting hit by this spell dart. And now she's starting to glow. And this is actually the first time Talia and Barrow and anybody's actually seen her starting to glow. And it's disconcerting. But she's almost like she's a holy beast. She's like, all this sweat. Or just a little bits here and there because she's just starting to sweat. Which makes it hard for her to hide in the shadows. Pix is going to have to learn how to be a one cool character. Alright, so she is going to bust over quickly to the side to try to hide in the shadows. You know what? No, she's just going to do that. She doesn't have to roll for it. We'll roll when it's back to his turn, if he's looking for her. She's going to go to the side in order to hide in the shadows, is what she's doing. And then nothing really else. Yeah. Yep. All right, so that's Pix's thing. Cassius. Cassius is going to close the door. Cassius is going to close the door. So you reach over, grab it, slam it shut. Does he have anything? He doesn't have. Someone had iron spikes. I think Barrow used to have iron spikes. Now he's got a 10-foot chain. Okay. That's going to be his move. Water. He's got a mirror. He likes to look at his ugly self. Okay. Well, he doesn't have anything to do. I mean, he could use as long. He doesn't want to do that though. So he's going to slam the door shut and turn his attention to the greater Gnole. He doesn't have. That was kind of his move. And he's too far away. Just far enough away he can't swing at the monster. So, monster's 10. So the Elder Gnole swings again with its tentacles, looking to obliterate Barrow. Oops. He rolls a 7. He flings again, and Barrow manages to dance out of the way. Totally. The other one. The other one says a word. Cassius hears it, muffled behind the door, but suddenly the door handle just bursts out behind Cassius, and I'm gonna give Cassius. He needs a reflex save to get out of the way. He manages to move out of the way to the left as the door handle blows off the door, and the door swings open, and then the other Gnole comes running into the room. What other powers does this guy have? Barrow. Man, it'd be great if you had another spell, buddy. Barrow's gonna swing again at the creature. He's gonna try swinging at its head with his flail. 11's not gonna do it, buddy. He just is not strong enough. The flail is just clattering against this thing's skin. If you hadn't heard that yet. Talia, these guys got to do something here. Yeah. She's forgotten sleep. She has animal summoning. I didn't seem right now though. So she's swinging with her sword. And a 5 ain't gonna do it, tell you. Wow. Somebody needs to do this. Alright, we're at picks. First off, we're gonna see if picks hid in the shadows versus this other Gnole that just came in through the doorway. We'll see if she can backstab this sucker too. Okay. Alright, we're gonna roll off. Black is the creature. Black is 10 to 18. So, don't even need to add any bonuses there. She is definitely hidden in the shadows, and this thing doesn't see her. So it comes in the door, it's looking around, it sees what's going on there. It's raising its hand. It's got a club, but it's raising its hand like it's going to do its little fancy thing. It's going to speak again, and that's when Pick strikes. She rolls a 13 plus 3 for a backstab. So she's doing a 16, which I think is definitely a hit. Its armor class is 13, so yes, definitely a hit. And she's going to be doing 1d10 plus 1 points of damage. You see that? That pretty 0? That's a 10, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 10. That is a one-shot. Pick sneaks around this thing and shoves her dagger straight in the back of its neck, right up underneath its skull. And then blood pours out and it slumps down. And it's dead. The Greater Gnole has no idea what's going on. Doesn't even notice this. Awesome picks. Who was I thinking people were going to die? This is piece of cake. All right, Cassius. Cassius watches Pix do this, and he sees her do this, and he just charges at, screaming a battle cry, slams in the back of this Elder Gnole, and this 3 and 12 is 15, and that is enough to hit this sucker finally. So damage is 1d8 minus 1 plus 3. So plus 2. So 5 points of damage. He yells and slices and shows that this thing's rubbery flesh is not actually rubber, and slices a huge gash into its back, and it screams out as this like sickening yellowish red substance comes pouring out of it. It's blood. It screams and it swings around and swings a tentacle at Cassius. Oh, that time it ain't rolling so bad. 18, it hits with a 19 for sure, and it's doing 1d8 plus 1d8 plus 1, and it rolled a 1. He flails around, slaps Cassius across the face with one of his tentacles, and Cassius now takes 2 points of damage. 2 points is 11. Yeah. Okay. That was a monster. Monster. Barrow. Alright, seeing his shot, he swings at this sucker with his flail. 14, which I believe is, yep, that's exactly what he needs. 14. He does 1d6 points of damage. He's doing 3 points of damage. So this time his flail finds purchase and slams against the Elder Gnole's body. Talia stabs it with her sword. She does nothing of the sort. stabs with her sword does nothing of the sort. It goes into his armpit. No. She swings, but this thing's flailing around. She doesn't find. It does not bite into the elder Gnole. Pix, you badass. She is definitely behind this thing. She's gonna race forward and jump and see if she can't. She's gonna backstab this sucker. Backstabs are automatic crits, I believe. Which I didn't do last time, but it doesn't matter because she one-shot the guy anyway. So that would have just been overkill. But a thief, check this again. I'm pretty sure should automatic crit. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, rolling on the crit table is, yeah. 37. Over here. Duh. 1d10 on table 2. Is that table 2? Is that table 2? No, no table 2. Okay. All right. So there are crit tables that kind of tell you what happens when you crit, depending on your level. She is level 2, and yes, crit dies 1d10. Okay. She rolled a 10. Okay. She rushes forward, screams, jumps up, buries this dagger in. A masterful strike. Inflict plus 2d6 damage with this strike. So she is doing 10 plus 2d6. And then that's plus 1. Go Pix. Go Pix. She is doing 5, 9, 12 points of damage. Her screaming, she dives, buries a dagger right in the right place in this thing's back. It screams and hollers, and wait a minute. Was it really it turned around to fight Cassius. Her back, its back wasn't to her. But we did a whole bunch of rolling. So, should I give it to her? Give it to me. Now I realize that, well, she might have had to run around. Here's the thing. She could have, even more fun, Pix, in order to get behind this thing, ran, jumped, got on the table, and came around and jumped off the table, coming down with her dagger right in the base of its spine, or its neck, right at the top, fracturing, cutting right through that stuff, and killing it dead right then. She's done 13 points of damage, which is pretty darn impressive. Totally killing this thing. The elder Gnole squeals its last squeal and falls. Cassius looks in the other room, looks around. So I think we're good. I think that was it. This thing's when it falls, it falls forward, it hits the chair, and it falls back, and it's looking up. Everybody takes a moment, and then Talia and Barrow are looking at it, and Barrow's fingering the 2 emeralds in his pocket, and Talia's looking, and Cassius comes over and looks at this thing. And they're like, notice its eyes, Talia says, and Cassius like, do they come out? And Talia's like, I don't know. She uses her sword. She pops one out. It looks like it could have been an emerald, but it looks a little more dull now. Like it's been worn in someone's eye socket. She says it doesn't feel like it feels dead, she says, like its owner. Maybe we were supposed to keep this thing alive and take its eyes. Maybe we were supposed to let it live, or no, we'd have to take it. But these don't. She takes out her sword, and she takes her sword and rips out the other one and takes it, and that's when they hear the voice that comes around. When she has both eyes in her hand, she hears "Well done. We may see you now." And suddenly, all of them, including Gunther, Snopes, and Meggle, all appear in this big white open kind of just white of this. They've been here before. This was when they were waiting around. It's just a big, just it's all blinding light. There's hardly even a floor. They just feel a floor, and they're sitting there in it. And the voices are there again. The big glowing orbs that were the Scions. At least one of them's talking. The other ones aren't talking. And they say, congratulations, you have completed the first task. This task was given to you in order to prepare for your next. The one who has the eyes must choose to replace his own with them. And Talia is standing there, and she's got these two in her, and she goes his. And that's when Barrow goes, and he opens up his hands. She looks over, and he's opened up his hands, and there's the two emerald eyes that look a lot like the ones that Talia has, except they look more alive. And she's like, what is... And Barrow says, they were in the curio cabinet. I was going to surprise you with them. To Barrow's credit, maybe he was thinking they'd make nice earrings for her. But he's chaotic. He's chaos, so he was probably going to keep them. But he's like, what? The Scions say, you must replace your eyes with these. We can do this for you with minimal damage done. Make up your mind. Talia says, what are the eyes for? What are they going to do? She says. She's the lawyer, right? She demands of the voices. The voices say, the eyes of the Elder Gnole are a powerful artifact. They will make you will see differently, perhaps even better. You'll need this ability for the task we have in mind. Will he lose his eyes, regular eyes, forever? Oh, yes. Unless, of course, some means of magic or gods grow back your eyes, you will lose those eyes. So, here's my thought. I've been saying that Barrow is kind of like living in Talia's shadow right now. Ever since the first adventure, after the first adventure, ever since she started learning spells, and he had to steal one spell out of the book she had in order to even be a spellcaster at all either. He desperately wants to assert himself as her equal. Not so much as a competitor, but as an equal in the relationship. Maybe that's part of what drove him to collect the eyes in the first place, without her or anybody knowing. So my thought is, he's going to agree to this. I originally thought when I was going through this adventure that if it would make sense to have Talia do it, because she's the thirsty, hungry one, but she does want to do it. And in fact, she says, look, I'll do this. In fact, that's how this rolls. He looks down at it. After she says, will he ever get his eyes back? And the Scions of Law say no. He looks down and everyone could tell he's just looking at it. He's really thinking about it. And Snopes and Gunther, by the way, are awake there. They're awake here now. Everyone's joined in. He's staring at it, and Talia speaks and goes, "I'll do it. I'll take them. Give them to me," she says. And Barrow, because she's gone bing, like this is another step in her power hierarchy now. But that shakes Barrow out of his reverie, his thinking. He looks, he clutches, he goes, "No, I'll do it. I agree now." And poof, he's gone. We'll do it that way. He's gone. He appears a little bit later, after everyone's settled down, and Talia, she's not quite sure how she feels about him being gone. This is the first time they've been without each other for a while. Even if it is just like, maybe they can't tell how long time is. Time could have been in 3 days. It could have been 15 minutes. And the place where they're at it's time is outside of time. Suddenly he appears back, and he appears to be in agony, but then that goes away quickly as he falls to. All of a sudden he just appears on his knees. He's like, "Ah!" And his eyes are gone, and in place are the green emeralds of the Elder Gnole. And that's where we're going to cut off for now. Barrow's going to get some cool new powers. Talia's going to be pretty jealous. And we are going to begin. Where are you? Next week is the beginning of. Oh, let me pop over to Campaign Home. Next week is The One Who Watches from Below. Dungeon Crawl Classics adventure by Job Bittman. Pretty sweet dungeon crawler. This is going to be, if the characters make it through this, they will have fulfilled their obligation to the Scions of Law, and who knows where they're going to go from there next, if they survive. Looks like everybody survived this one, luckily, by the grace of the Dungeon Master. Like I said before at the beginning, this was the Gnole House by Michael Curtis. It's a level 1 adventure. You can find, they give it in their free RPG materials for the free RPG day. It's in a kind of like a starter guide, a quick start guide. You can pick it up online at goodmangames.com or your drive-thru RPG. I think you probably get it in a PDF form for sure. It's a cool little adventure. It's a creepy little house. A lot of cool little nooks and crannies that we didn't necessarily cover in this one, but it's pretty cool. And that is that. I will see you next Friday, Dungeon fans. Viva la Dungeon!